Yo, what's up guys? Yeah, PokeAim here with round one. Just kidding, it's the finals of the UU Open. I have Harris and Edian. Let's get right into it. So, okay, Harris looks like he's using a team that was made by Drew. I don't know necessarily if I'm right, but I believe it was Combine Colbur or Z Reuniclus, Scarf Crook, Rocks. It could be Nasty Plot Ape. Let me actually calm down a little bit and think about this. So, come on guys, let me have a thought process here. Anyway, Mega Manectric is actually pretty problematic to Harris's team considering his, I mean, Crocodile is one of the best checks to it, but considering just its speed tier wise, Rotom is typically Iapapa or Z as well. Like he has multiple Z-Mons. I'm pretty sure it's defensive Primarina. Looking at his team, he doesn't switch in I gotta take out these headsets. He doesn't switch in very well to Crocodile, opposing Crocodile, so that'd be actually really nice considering he can switch into Crawdaunt as well. We do see an Infernape switching on potentially the fire type attack as we saw him scout for Scarf, and we are going to see Rocks go up from Gligar and Aggron. I swear I'm going to try and pick their thought process apart right here, but I think that Reuniclus is never going to be the biggest of issues. In the late game, it has a ton of potential, and this is also a pretty scary U-turn for Edian because, I'm assuming I'm saying his name right off, man, because he doesn't switch in very well to Heavy Slam. Tentacruel, all of them pretty much take a lot. So if you want to go Cruel, you also risk potentially Earthquake on Aggron, though it's definitely Fire Punch, especially when you're running Reuniclus. We see Tentacruel come out, probably going to take around 30% from Heavy Slam. As we see an Earthquake and it is dead. So that was either offensive Z or that's an offensive Aggron. Either way, that is such a huge turn because Rocks are going to be here to stay unless Harris decides to defog them with Rotom, of course. I'm assuming he doesn't have defog on this Gligar. As we see Stealth Rock U-turn, we're going to assume Roost and Earthquake. So, Rotom comes out on the Aggron as it goes for Earthquake itself. And if it's Bloom Doom, Leaf Storm is going to hurt. That is not Specs. So we are going to see a good amount of chip on the Gligar. And that's actually really important too because I don't know if you guys know how scary Ape is versus him. But it can do a lot of work. Unless my opponent decides, or this guy decides to throw it away. But it looks like he's fearing Scarf Ape, as he's going to double out to Crocodile. So yeah, I was about to say, on this type of build, there's no way you're Scarf Ape. Your Crocodile is just way too solid and splashable with a Scarfer. Now the thing is, I don't know if Gligar actually goes down to knockoff here, but what he was trying to do was obviously pivot in on the Electric type attack that would be able to knock out Infernape. Crocodile would then be able to knock out Manectric with the Earthquake or threaten it. So we might see a knockoff coming out from Crook, as it doesn't knock out Gligar, which is fine either way because getting rid of the Eviolite means that pretty much every Mon on the team can knock out Gligar. So we are going to see Primarina coming on the U-turn. Maybe it's actually not defensive. I'm surprised considering you're running Reuniclus and you don't really switch in too well to opposing Crocodile. But Crocodile's going to come out on the Volt Switch. Really nice because this always puts the Manectric in a place where there are 50-50s intact, but the fact that it's actually Specs Primarina is pretty important too. Edian is not giving up momentum though. He's just getting in Manectric, and that's still pretty important too, as well as, or excuse me, Primarina, because basically if Gligar ever went for Roost or Earthquake, Primarina outspeeds it and gets a kill right now with Moonblast or Hydro Pump / Scald. So Edian's going to end up U-turning out into Manectric, most likely. Maybe he's calculating if that's max HP since he did 5 the first time and he did 8 this time. Let me drink some water real quick. I really wish they weren't playing so fast because I'm trying to gauge the thought process. Obviously, I think Edian's game plan is get up as many hazards as possible, though he's not, having the best luck at it because the offensive pressure that Harris is doing. That Earthquake was so big. Especially because no T-Spikes versus this type of team. Imagine just a chip damage on everything. That would have been fire. So Manectric's going to come out. You might see him actually sack Primarina here, considering doesn't come in as much. Though being able to check Crawdaunt is really nice. Honestly, it might just come down to Rotom versus Crawdaunt at the end. Crawdaunt's just a huge pain. But Klefki's going to come out. This does give Infernape a potential switch-in and basically a kill. Or if it's U-turn Infernape, for instance, it invites in Lottie, assuming it's Bandit, that is, of course. But I would go Ape here. I think it's the only thing that really offensively threatens it and gets in Lottie. We'll see if we do see a U-turn, though. as we do see a Fire Blast. Now, by seeing Fire Blast, I'm kind of thinking, especially because Scizor is a little bit of a problem to this team, that it's actually a Life Orb Slack Off Infernape on this type of build. But we are going to see a Draco come out from Lottie. That kind of looks Scarf. That looks Scarf. And that's actually a problem too, because it has the ability to revenge kill Krookodile, especially if spikes go up. But this Aggron is obviously a ridiculous threat too. Whenever it comes in, it just clicks Heavy Slam and does massive damage to something. Yeah, 58%. We might see Edian go for a T-Wave or a Last Ditch Effort Spike. I think Spike is really smart as well, though we're more than likely going to see Harris defog them away. Spike just means Crawdaunt comes in and claims a kill, and more importantly, it means that Krookodile goes down to Draco. But we're going to see Rotom come in, more than likely try and go for defog here, and Edian might make an aggressive play, though Crawdaunt is very important because you will lose to Reuniclus. Like, you will definitely lose to Reuniclus. So there's two things that can happen right here, right? Please, I'm going to ignore both of them too, because I can't do that. Because I don't want them to say good game. What Edian might do is expect the defog, stay in with Crawdaunt, and go for the Crab Hammer. Now, what that allows, if he does go for the defog, what that allows Edian to do is effectively just start claiming KOs. Because you pressure Aggron with the spikes plus damage, you're out of KO range of Krookodile, and you do KO Rotom, by the way. It's Choice Band, which is what we're assuming just based on the damage. We didn't see any damage, but let's see if we actually see him switch out into Gligar. It does make the more safe, as, again, yeah, you did see the default come out. So that, I think that was a 50-50 in terms. Maybe Edian didn't realize that, or Harris did, but he was in a position where he could have lost right there. He legitimately could have lost right there. Well, Harris could have lost right there, because while you would have been able to defog away the hazards, basically getting in, or getting rid of the only thing that reliably revenge kills the Mon is so good. We do see recover from Lottie though, so it might not actually be Scarf. Okay, so no speed control besides Thunder Wave on Klefki, that's completely fine. Aggron though is a gigantic threat. It claims one with Heavy Slam. Opts to go for Rocks though. I guess that's fair. You can Heavy Slam knock out Gligar anyway, and Rocks pressure Lottie, put it in range of Crunch 100% and knock off if it comes in twice from Krookodile. So we're going to see Reuniclus come out, as we do see a Roost, and this is another Mon that can kind of just claim a kill if it's Calm Mind Signal Beam. He does go for the Calm Mind. I think that was a fair play. There was no way you're going hard Crawdaunt there. In fact, Edian might just lose right now too. I said it multiple times, but because if I'm Harris, I don't throw off my Psychic type attack. I do whatever it's possible, whatever my secondary attack is right here, right? So, assuming Edian goes out, I really hope I'm not saying your name wrong. Maybe it's Edion? Whatever sounds better when I'm saying Gliscor. Assuming Edian goes out into Lottie or Manectric here, basically, I'm super surprised that he went for Calm Mind there with Reuniclus, and because I think that not allowing Crawdaunt's fine, and you can also afford to take a hit after and recover. But either way, it worked out because Manectric came in, and I think he acknowledged that Crawdaunt could not come out. But we're going to see Manectric get the parent, which might be pretty important, but we do see a Psy Shock come through as Crawdaunt's going to come out. Even if it's Colbur Berry, I'm pretty positive that Reuniclus drops. Rotom definitely drops. Rotom definitely drops. You don't want to go Crawdaunt because I think, or Krookodile, excuse me, because you need to keep that alive to reliably check Lottie. So at this point, you might just lose him on, which is why I don't think that the second Calm Mind mattered as much. Maybe if he wanted to Volt Switch out into Lottie, and he wanted the two Calm Minds to actually beat it down. But Edian's play is always knockoff. Getting rid of a Choice Scarf on Krookodile opens up that door for Lottie no matter what. It does massive damage to Aggron and might 2-hit KO it. Actually, if he has Crunch, I think Crunch is the better play. We do see Colbur Berry? Yeah, I was about to say, like, this is Choice Band Crawdaunt. There's no way it lives. So it's in a situation where, like, you guys saw what I was talking about earlier, that 50-50. Don't know if they both acknowledged it as a 50-50. Maybe Harris was thinking, I'm Rotom, he's going to switch. And maybe Edian was like, he's Rotom, I should switch. But that play right there could have been, that play right there could have been so different had he Crab Hammered Rotom. But Rotom's going to come out, and at this point, Rotom is more likely I Papa Berry. Then again, no. Rotom's probably Z. Because Reuniclus was Colbur, not Z. So we might see a Volt Switch exactly, and that damage is really crucial because that puts Latios in range of knockoff. However, it's a 50-50 here too. If Lottie stays in and goes for Draco, Can the combination of Crawdaunt plus Gligar just win on its own? Do you even need Gligar at that point? So this is another 50-50. We do see Gligar come out on the knock. So I didn't got it right. Wow. And he has enough sacks to actually put himself in a position to win. Because right here, you just safely U-turn. Roost can work too, but U-turn is the more offensive play to get rid of Rotom and to basically deny whatever sack he has. And then you go Crawdaunt because Crawdaunt lives a hit from Aggron, and it also threatens Krookodile with the Choice Band Aqua Jet. Obviously, Krookodile does have Intimidate, but after the multiple rock switchings, I don't think it's going to take it too well. So what we'll probably see from Harris here is Krookodile and then a double out into Aggron because of the Intimidate. However, at this point, him only having 2 Pokemon is really big. We do see Lottie come out. And we see a Z move come out. It ends up being Devastating Drake, and that is just enough to win the game. I think that's just enough to win the game. All you do here is you go Crawdaunt, you click Choice Band Aqua Jet, forces the Krookodile to lock itself into, doesn't matter, because Gligar's out of range of knockoff anyway. Yep. And that should be game. That should be game. You just go Crawdaunt and click Aqua Jet. I think he might be calculating it, but it definitely does 20% to Aggron. You don't click knockoff because you don't give Krookodile a chance to click another move and potentially crit Gligar. I guess there's no way Gligar does 20% to Aggron. I can't believe that. If Gligar doesn't do 20% and then this is like rest Aggron as his last move over Fire Punch, I think Fire Punch makes a little bit more sense, especially because he doesn't spike support, so I don't think Roar makes a lot of sense. Does Gligar actually do 20%? Are you serious? I mean, because if it does, then this makes sense too, because Krookodile guarantee goes down to Jet. Wow. It actually does 20%? I don't think you can Roost. You don't even a Violite, bro. 44, yeah, you're taking too much. Then again, you can still... Actually, this is safer play. Yeah, I'm about to say 19. I swear I had that calc on deck. So, if for some reason... Krookodile ends up living, he wins. And I think that Edian should have went out into... he definitely should have went out into Crawdaunt first. At 20%, it was definitely a range of Choice Band, Adaptability, Aqua Jet. I'll calc it too, just to be safe. But I knew the Gligar calc was like 19. Like I knew that for a fact. Ooh, get all this stuff out of here. What the hell is this? Okay. You Jet there. We're not gonna bother calcing because we'll see right now, I guess. Does it do 71? It does do 71. Okay, so I guess he was good either way. That calc I want to know though. You Choice Band. Krookodile, you Choice Scarf. 60 to 71. I'm assuming he was adamant. So, what essentially happened there was, I think, assuming it's just standard UU defensive. Yeah, this does 19 to 22, which is, I'm pretty sure, more than Gligar. Yeah, 18 to 21. So, I think that the better end game that he should have went for there, because Gligar could literally Roost stall Krookodile anyway, was just go for Aqua Jet because it gave him more situations even outside of rolls. So that was game one. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the end game there. I think Crawdaunt was the play first, especially because if you got the roll versus Aggron, it was literally set. Harris got a pretty lame roll with knockoff on the Reuniclus. Did he? Choice Band. We're gonna assume again it's adamant because that roll was literally absent max. So Reuniclus, defensive Calm Mind. No, knock off the 67 to 79. And what was the? This is game 2. Love both teams, by the way. This looks like Finchinator's team with SDZ Beware. Let me see if I can actually find it. Anyway, Beware is really nice versus this guy's squad. Though Mega Blastoise is annoying for Harris to switch into, just period. Dark Pulse and Aura Sphere do not have great resistances, so we are going to see a Mega Blastoise lead versus Lottie. As far as winning goes, I think that Mega Aerodactyl can for sure pressure his team, but especially if Lottie goes down and Empoleon's weakened or not able to Toxic Suicune, or its Subcom Mind protects Suicune and Harris doesn't end up having Roar on the Empoleon, Vinkun will just be too much for him. But I don't think it is Vinkun, considering he has Diancie. I actually think it's Restock Suicune, or Crokun is what it's called, mainly because Diancie typically carries Heal Bell and Heal Bell support. However, Diancie could obviously be just Spadef. We are going to see a Draco come out, which makes sense. Blastoise is a giant threat. Diancie's more than likely going to go for Rocks. It's the rocker on the team. Crocodile is for sure Scarf. It's always Scarf. Empoleon comes in, though, as we are going to see a double out to Blastoise. Very nice play on Idian's part. It definitely takes advantage of the 2 Pokemon that he would bring in, or 3 Pokemon rather, he could bring in on Diancie, being Hippowdon, Empoleon, and Scizor, and it gives him some beautiful damage with the Aura Sphere. That does so much damage, as we are going to see a Toxic Connect, so this will be important. However, probably see a Protect come out from Harris. However, Diancie, again, typically runs Heal Bell as one of its moves, though Toxic is something I like a little bit better, but because he has Diancie plus Suicune, I'm going to assume it's Rest Suicune plus Heal Bell. So that Toxic might not matter as much, and Blastoise is able to KO one of the Pokemon in this game, and honestly, I think it's going to do a lot more than that too. Another thing that's important is that Scizor is kind of, if it's SD, it's a problem. While it could be Fire Fang on Hippo, it doesn't take SD Z move. Though Moltres could easily be Z move instead of Specs, which is something I was also leaning back and forth between, and Scizor could just be SC Iron Plate. Diancie comes out on the Lottie. We are going to see a Thunder, so that leads us to believe that this is actually Gigavolt Havoc Latias. And then it's not Z-Move Beware. So rocks are going to go up. This is cool because it does give Hippo the rocks, but at the same time, Edian has just a free Blastoise at this point, especially with rocks up, pressuring Lottie as a switch in. Blastoise can just come in and just click a button. It's the best play as well. Suicune, it makes a lot of sense too, again, if it's that rest stock, but I thought that Blastoise was a little bit more offensive. However, seeing as how it looks like it's rest talk, you're going to see a Scald come out. No burn. That damage on Lottie, the rocks plus sand, and Scald puts it in range of Pursuit, and Diancie is always a free switching. We are going to see Roost again, so we're thinking it's Calm Mind, Gigavolt Havoc because you're running Thunder, though it could be Dragonium. Scizor's going to come out, more than likely the, yep, we do see the Heal Bell right there, what I say. So, Scizor's annoying in a sense that it doesn't actually, like, Edian does not like switching into Scizor right now with rocks up. If it's like SD Quick Attack as well, it's also pretty problematic. And Moltres will go down. However, if Edian doesn't care as much about his Moltres, which I think he should, considering how much of a problem Beware is, you want to be able to outspeed it and OHKO it, while Blastoise can do the same thing. He could just go out to Moltres, but we are going to see Suicune come out, more than likely on a U-turn. Oh man, that's max defense Suicune. Yeah, cause that's Bandit U-turn. That is Bandit U-turn. So that's max defense Suicune, which means that it is definitely rest talk. So one thing that's interesting is the fact that Calm Mind Lottie can actually beat Diancie if it gets enough Calm Minds. And the only thing is that Edian has 2 ways of checking that. First off, he doesn't even have to get the 50-50 with Pursuit versus Knockoff Right with Crocodile, because either way, you put it in range of Bullet Punch from Scizor, which is how you reliably check it. Unless it's not Z, period, on Harris's part, and maybe he's Calm Mind Colbur, but I swear it's Z. Beware comes out. So he knows based on that calc that Beware is going to be faster. I'm assuming that's just Banded versus... I swear that used to be Banded damage on max defense. Yeah, Suicune. We are going to see a Skull come out as he does burn him. However, if it's Facade, that really hurts. But I think it was Edian's best play as well. Like, just click Scald. If it's Facade, it will be able to KO Suicune regardless. It'll actually KO anything on his team right now. Even Scizor's going to go down. So Diancie comes out. Let's see. as we are going to see the Z move. Really nice scout. Breakneck Blitz was another play if he wasn't Z. Wow, that means that Lottie's probably Cobra Berry. And that's a really, really, really bad burn for Harris. That is really bad. And this Diancie is just chipping away as well. Like, it's repeatedly able to come in. At this point, I don't know how I feel about Suicune coming in, but I guess at the same time, he doesn't threaten it with anything, man. Lottie, Beware is 2-hit KO'd. Aerodactyl's 2-hit KO'd. Hippowdon can't beat it because you just rest all it. And Scalds are free. You can rest as well if you want to. But Scalds are free too because getting a burn on Latias means that, again, Krookodile always checks it. It's just constantly pivoting into Diancie. It makes sense. You deny, and it's Life Orb as well. Ah, okay. So it's Life Orb Lottie. I guess after a Calm Mind, maybe it doesn't even have to Calm Mind. Maybe it's just Ice Beam as his last move, or HP Fire. Wow, that missing Thunder earlier was a little bad too. Oh, it's Psychic. Okay, so Diancie goes down, however, it does invite in the Krookodile, and Krookodile can just go for knockoff. I think if I'm Harris, I definitely attempt to keep Latias alive. But at this point, what's his win con? Is it Aerodactyl? Even Aerodactyl's fishy because look how scary Scizor is versus the remainder of his squad. Like Edian, if I'm Edian, I don't think I ever click Pursuit. I don't think I ever clicked Pursuit if I was Edian there. I feel like Knockoff was just no drawback. You switch into Suicune on the Beware anyway. You get rid of Hippo's leftovers. But this is absolutely amazing for Harris because not only is it giving him recovery, it also gives him a potential way of getting rid of the Krookodile. Obviously, though, he is playing around with crits. I hope I didn't just speak it to life. Because that would be a lame way to go right now. But, yep. He doesn't get crit. Oh, we do see a crit right there, but it wasn't on the right guy. So, Krookodile's going to go down. Awesome. That means he can't revenge Arrow off speedily. But Scizor comes out. Now, it literally has to be... Fire Fang and Hippowdon for it to check it. Or that's Iron Plate damage? I don't think that's banded damage. I feel like that's not banded. Because on the crit, I feel like it would do more. Is that banded? Check right now. I don't think that's banded. Hippowdon. You mixed. No, it's not banded. Could just be Iron Plate. Okay. Iron Ball. Thank you. So on a crit, that looks to be a crit from Iron Plate. Scizor. 37 to, okay, I Z'd it, my bad. Yep. So that's Iron Plate Scizor, or Metal Coat, whatever, if you go that way. I definitely use Iron Plate though. Same thing. Blastoise comes out, you're forced to slack off. Doubles out into Beware. I think what it is to... I think he was trying to catch Suicune, but... Blastoise made a lot of sense too because it lived Earthquaking could spin. Yeah, it's looking really, really not good for the for Harris right now because you get a spin while sacking damage on Blastoise though, so that's really important for. Actually, that could be Rest Blastoise as well, considering how slow it is. Like Aura Sphere, Rapid Spin. Nah, you would definitely have Dark Pulse. Nah, forget that. So we do see a double down here. Yep, Water Pulse. Double down though. Gonna need a little bit of luck to beat Suicune though. I think you go Arrow here always. Go Scizor though, just in case Suicune comes out. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say Arrow because it deals with Moltres and could crit Suicune. We are not gonna see a burn, and Edian does not go for rest. Interesting, interesting. But like I said, it still has to be Fire Fang on Hippo to beat Scizor. It literally still has to be Fire Fang on Scizor. Because Scizor for sure bullet punches here. It doesn't have to SD. It can SD in Hippo's face. Yep. Hippo comes out. Moltres is going to come out on the slack off. We're going to see the Scizor sack right now. And then we're going to see Arrow come out. Okay, wait. If Arrow has Fire Fang itself... Actually, hold up. Harris might be able to pull this back because right here, you like 10 million %. Okay, so what you do is you either slack off on Moltres, just to see gauge damage. Oh my gosh! Wow, wow. That's game no matter what. Yeah, that's 100% game because you slacked off work because what you could do is you could see what it did and you got up rocks to pressure it, but wow, that's over. Even if you had Fire Fang at this point, it doesn't matter. Supersonic Sky Strike on the sack, really nice. Arrow can try and roost and get back up to full. Don't think it will make a difference though. At this point, Scizor just wins. Yeah, that burn immediately was a little bit nasty. Yeah, that's game. Because Iron Plate Scizor goes for BP. Knocks him out. Harris goes out into Hippowdon, but it's burnt, so he can't even do damage. So even if he had Fire Fang. I guess we could see if he had Fire Fang at that point. He had Fire Fang too. Yeah, that burn, man. Wow. That's game. Looks like Edian wins the Open. That burn on Flamethrower was huge. And I think that Harris did the right thing too. You slack off the Scout for it. You get the sack, that way you on Scizor or on the Z. And then what would have happened here was Scizor couldn't switch in on the Scizor couldn't switch in on Stone Edge if rocks were up. And then it would have to roost. And then you can get in Hippo and just click rocks or Fire Fang. Like Hippo's gonna eat this attack too. Yeah. This is where also missing the last Fire Fang hurt as well, because if it wasn't roost, I mean it definitely was. But as you can see, Hippowdon would have won this 1v1. The burn on Hippo was nasty. The burn on Beware was nasty too. But I think that Suicune could have also been played differently. I honestly feel like Edian did not play his Suicune that well. Like, congratulations to him for winning UU Open, but I honestly feel like he didn't play his Suicune well at all. Like, you got the Scald Burns. Rest up. Rest up with it and wall his entire team, basically. But yeah, that's going to be the game. So, anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Edian, congratulations to him for winning the UU Open. And, yeah, Harris got semis. Still really good. I gotta see that first one though. What that roll was. Replay. Harris is awesome. What was the roll? I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of both end games on Edian's part. Like obviously it worked out for him, but 76. Okay. So, Reuniclus, Colbur Berry, what the hell was the name called? Sorry. Like blanked out for a second. 76%. Oh, so you got a higher to mid-roll. Alright, so that makes sense. Anyway, what was I gonna say? So yeah, like that first game, I wasn't a big fan of the end game here because basically, hold up, Gligar was at 37, which means it's 20 something. So like, had he gotten the first off, this came down to a roll. Secondly, if you got the roll on Aggron, which is a higher chance to get than the one with Gligar, you basically make it so that Crocodile cannot spam Earthquake versus Crawdon. If it goes for knockoff, it gets 2-hit KO'd anyway. So I think there were a few plays that could have been made a little bit differently to make it the endgame a little bit better. And I feel like Suicune could have been used a little bit differently in this, like resting up for sure. Obviously, resting does come with free turns of potentially Hone Claws Aerodactyl, letting that thing set up and things like that. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Once again, congratulations Edian or Edion or Edion or Eddie1 for winning the UU Open. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends.